We've got NFL Network reporter and co-host of Good Morning Football Weekend. Hello, Mike Garofolo.
Hello, weekday crew, the originators, the innovators.
The OGs.
Everybody dressed up. I was going to wear a jacket. Everybody's dressed up. You know, I should have. Hold on. It is still casual day. Attaboy.
Hey, but I see you, though, with the knit tie.
Damn, Daniel.
Start your engines.
Right, back at it again with the knit tie.
Damn, Michael.
Damn, Michael.
So, in Week 3, Dolphins defensive end William Hayes tore his ACL while sacking Derek Carr. Hayes tried not to put his body weight on him during the play. Now, I understand for Week 4, you reviewed all the sacks. All of them. Did you notice defenders altering their technique? Were there any changes that we need to know?
I did a comprehensive review, put on my glasses, got in the lab, and looked at everything this weekend just to see the impact. First of all, I did speak to William Hayes yesterday. We haven't heard from him since the injury. He said it's, quote, frustrating as hell to know that his injury that knocked him out for the season was a result of him trying to protect somebody else. He called Derek Carr a good stand-up man, by the way, but says it doesn't change anything. I still have a torn ACL. Does expect to come back. 11 years in the league, 33 years old, wants to come back. Doesn't want to go out this way. As for the weekend that was, I looked at, there were 68 sacks. I looked at all those. I looked at some hits as well. Melvin Ingram got flagged for a body weight hit, and it was not a critical point in the game, but look at this play here. I mean, this is one of those where people say, are you kidding me? This has been legal in the NFL for 100 years, and now all of a sudden. So to think that this body weight thing, even though it wasn't a big piece of conversation here, is going away. Here's a good look right here. To think it's going to go away, no, it just didn't happen at a critical point like Clay Matthews did. But I did notice some guys maybe altering their technique a little bit. Von Miller last night, when he had a chance to drop Patrick Mahomes, he just let him go. And you heard Mahomes on the microphone on ESPN say that, you know, thank you, bro, appreciate it, bro, something like that. Look at these guys, though. Kind of maybe pulling a guy down when they could have fallen forward a little bit. Watch Matthews. I think this is the Matthews one here. Yeah, a little bit, you know, breaks down a little bit, slows down. Guys are starting to realize, well, you know what, maybe I don't want to put myself in that position to potentially get flagged. So I think it was a little bit of that. I also think it was a little bit that some quarterbacks moved out of the way and maybe not a direct run. I still think this is going to be a topic of conversation going forward. And I know that guys realize now in their head they have to be careful, not only for the quarterback, but also for themselves, not wind up like William Hayes.
Adjustments being made for the safety of the game. Of course, it'll still be a debating topic as those continue to happen throughout the weeks here. But it's time for our favorite game that we'll play with you. Believe it or not. Hey, all right, we're each going to give you a statement that we personally think is true, or maybe we think it's true.
Sure.
You know, we're debating it back and forth in our minds. Nate, what do you got for Mike?
All right, now, if and when Le'Veon Bell returns to the Pittsburgh Steelers, he will be well received. Believe it or not.
Clarify first. By whom? By his locker room? By the fan base? By the...
I'll say locker room.
By the locker room? I believe it with a little bit of an asterisk. I believe it that if and when he shows that he is in top football shape and can continue to make plays, that yes. But I think there's going to be some awkward moments when he first walks in. I truly believe that. And the if, there is no if. I mean, he'll be back this year. I see the reports about Week 7, which makes sense. It's right around the bye. I always did believe that these past 2 weeks, there were 2 primetime games that he wanted it to be a topic of conversation on the primetime game.
You think?
Oh, for sure.
You wanted Michaels and Collinsworth to say, wow, they could use Le'Veon Bell.
And it was, you know how these things are orchestrated. You've been a part of a broadcast. They came out of a break and said, okay, first down, here's what. All right, let's talk about Le'Veon Bell. And they spent that series talking about Le'Veon Bell over a Pittsburgh offense. So I think that was a big thing for him. He obviously wants to send a message here, not only to his team, but to the NFL in general about when you believe that you've got your worth, take a stand.
Mike, the Chicago Bears. They used to be a really big thing, and now it's great to see them back. They're like the knit ties of teams.
They are.
Chicago Bears are the team to beat in the NFC North, believe it or not.
The only thing I was missing on Sunday, watching all those touchdowns, was somebody yelling, touchdown, bear down, Kyle Brandt. I was thinking that in my head.
TM.
TM, right, exactly. Are they the team to beat?
Thanks, Mike.
I can't quite go there at this point. What did I say last week? I said I think the Minnesota Vikings still were the team to beat in the NFC North. So I can't go week to week and change things.
It's early.
I'll stick with Minnesota. I still think there's enough talent here, but you know, these guys did so much in the offseason to make this offense more dynamic, to build around Mitchell Trubisky, which we've seen teams do with young quarterbacks, and boy, are they getting the results. I like what I see. I like the atmosphere that I'm hearing about in Chicago. There's certainly a lot of enthusiasm, energy, excitement. They're having fun. They're playing loose. They're fun to watch. I still don't think they win the division this year, but they're in that playoff race.
Let's talk NFC East. Dallas coming off an impressive win, but the team coming off a bye, the Redskins, are the best team in that division.
I don't believe it quite yet. They're staying healthy.
You didn't have to laugh at it when I said it.
I didn't laugh. I smiled. I just, we got a thing. Every time we say something here, it winds up being true. Okay, your question always seems to bring out the truth.
All right, good.
So they're staying healthy. I did say about this team coming into the year, they need to stay healthy. They don't have depth, but the front line of their roster, there is enough talent to compete here. So right now, that's the biggest key for them. Obviously, that's a little bit of luck going forward, but I'm still going to ride with the Philadelphia Eagles. I know it's a little bit rusty. One of those hits that I did review, there was a hit to Carson Wentz's head that went uncalled. Had it been called, maybe that game's a little bit different. I don't bail on teams when they go into road environments. It was a tough game on Sunday. I thought it was a tough spot for them. Wentz still getting his feet underneath him, and they lose in overtime. That goes either way.
Totally.
If they win that game, the conversation changes. So I still believe the Eagles are getting their legs, not only their quarterback, underneath them.
I'll wrap this up with a New York storyline right now in the New York papers. Jaguars are up 3 scores on the Jets, and Doug Marrone says, let's go for 2. And the Jets fans are upset, and there's no sportsmanship there. There's some history. You might have to explain it, but Doug Marrone had every right in the world to go for 2 late in the game, up 3 scores on the Jets.
I believe it, because he should have had that job. And no knock against Todd Bowles. Listen, so Greg Rosenthal, our buddy at NFL.com, tweeted, is this the first time that a coach has run up the score on a beat writer? And he was referring to Manish Mehta of the Daily News, who during the coaching search wrote a lot of critical pieces against Marrone and may have swayed this away from Marrone getting that Jets job. So that I think that he had every right to say to that organization, you didn't hire me? There's a little more in you. But I do think the post-game press conference, he says, no, the chart says.
The chart
come
said
on,
it.
forget the chart.
Chart.
You know what? Yeah, I had a little bit of beef in your face. Say it, Dougie. Don't be afraid.
The drama of it all. My
Baloney.
goodness. Hey, Mikey G, where can we see you this weekend?
Good morning football weekend out of Mount Laurel, New Jersey. Boy, I love that studio down there.
Yeah?
Great. So shiny and
You have like
new.
a fireplace in your studio.
It's not lit yet.
Oh, yeah?
They're driving me
Your
nuts.
takes are going to get lit, Mike.
I bring the heat. There's so much heat coming out of my mouth.
Oh, man.
You can check it out Saturday and Sunday on NFL Network. We are just a couple of days away from Thursday night action to kick off Week 5. We'll go over that, the Pat side, the Colt side, but also this beautiful gift that keeps on giving, Kyle.
Fans must be stopped.
That Bavaro?
Yeah.
Was there anything that came close?
We'll find out.
It's a decent week.
Hey.
It might be a nice long run. Steelers are winning something.